Hello and welcome to another new podcast of Sportzian. Today here we are to discuss about the historic series between India and Australia, where India very convincingly has defeated the host. Joining with me is Sailesh. Hi Sailesh, how are you?
Hi. Yeah, I am fine. How about you?
Yeah, I'm good. Excited to say.
Yeah,
Still reeling with the
yeah,
2-1 victory in Australia.
yeah.
So
To be frank, which was unexpected at the start of the
yeah.
series. Most of the cricket pundits, so they were expecting a 4-0 after the Adelaide test. So yeah,
So
these were
tell
good
me,
moments to cherish.
tell me, Sailesh, I mean, this series has been a very roller coaster ride for Indian cricket team. There were
Yes.
lows, there were ups. So which was your favorite moment in the entire four match series? Favorite moment.
Um, to be frank, I have two favorite moments in the series. So one is Rahane's century, which got overshadowed because of a lot of other performances from the younger generation players. So that was a turning point where a team from a 36 all out believed that they can do something special. So that was a stepping stone. And second thing is the Ashwin's and Vihari's partnership. So most of the people from the T20 generation don't like it, but still, that was one of the moment in the series where people believe that yeah we can do something special as such. So what were your moments as such?
Yeah, so I also have two moments I would say. One is not a movement but a strategy that Indian bowling unit has followed, the leg side fielding. I mean, they didn't give
Mhm.
room to Australia because I mean, if you see the wickets that Indian team has picked up, it's not. I mean, it's their ability to bowl in the right areas, but it's the field placements
Mhm.
also. Fielders were placed at
Yes.
the right moments at the right time in the right position. So I feel that the
Mhm.
strategy has worked miracles. The entire leg side fielding, not giving Australians to score on the offside, and the other one is
Yeah.
undoubtedly Pujara's resilience. I mean,
Mhm.
you can you. I've seen some comments. I mean, some people were talking about how Pujara is slow and all, but I don't understand. I mean, this is Test cricket, so Test cricket is meant to be played that way. I mean,
Yes.
if he's boring you, then he can't help it.
Yeah.
But
So
because so he played out those balls. I mean, without him playing out all these balls, it would be very difficult for the batsman who came in next to at least draw or win. I mean, draw the Sydney one or win the Gavaskar one. It will be
yeah.
very difficult.
Yeah. So among the points which I've mentioned, both of them. So with respect to field placements, so was a bit surprised when Rahane took over and when he had all these strategies in place. So I mean, his character seems to be a bit calm, but the placements which we had was aggressive on the field as such. And
He,
second thing, with respect to the Pujara's resilience, which I've told, with the batting order of Shubman Gill, Rohit Sharma, Rishabh Pant, Mayank Agarwal, everyone is there to hit. Everyone is probably termed as a T20 player or a ODI player. You need a person, you need a rock solid over there to make sure that wickets don't fall at a particular end, and another person can take it over. So for the people who are from T20 generation, especially,
yeah.
so they feel it's bored, but actually that's one of the most valuable innings.
I mean, you need a player like Pujara in your team to so that other players can play freely. I mean, if Pant played that freely in Sydney, it was because Pujara was holding fort at one end. You cannot just say that he's just there to eat the deliveries and all. So I never understood that logic when people talk about Pujara. Now,
Yeah.
the, coming from the start, I mean, Adelaide was a shocker, right? Everybody. I mean, I believe that it's a shocker for everybody. And yeah, I mean, I didn't have much hope from the Indian team, because Kohli was leaving after Adelaide and getting
Mhm.
all out at 36. It didn't make any sense to me, actually.
To be frank, when you have mentioned the Adelaide test, so when the schedule was rolled out and Kohli was supposed to come back, I thought it will be a 1-3, one India and three Australia. One will be through Adelaide only. So when the second inning started in the morning, when I woke up, when I was seeing the match in bits and pieces, so the wickets were tumbling like it was like a highlights only for me. The wickets were falling in heap, and I didn't expect team to bounce back at all. To be frank, even in my dreams, I didn't expect the team to bounce back, and that too with the kind of injuries we had, kind of new people coming into the team. Everything was a miracle, to be frank.
Yeah.
Probably, at least in this decade, we didn't have anything in 2010 to 2020 decade as such with a huge miracle, with the longevity of this test series which we had. So this seems to be a miracle as such for me.
For me also, I mean, I think I've been watching cricket since the early 2000s, late 90s, you can say. And Australia only depicted one thing to me. They are demolishers. They're superpower of, yeah, world cricket. And I still remember watching 2003 World Cup final. I cried. I mean, because India was demolished. And that was the second time they did it in that World Cup. In the league matches also, they bowled out India for around 120 odd runs.
125.
And in the final, you just see that batsman came. They just made centuries for fun, and we didn't have. And I thought that I wouldn't find an Indian team dominating them, but it has changed over the years. And
Yes.
in the turn of this new decade, it has completely overturned.
Got it. But still, with the bowling attack of Stark, Hazelwood, Cummins, and Lyon. So any team going to Australia with this kind of bowling attack, I won't expect the visiting team to dominate them. But one point which is highlighted is they having not taken any rest. They have played all the 4 matches. They've bowled for 8 innings, each person bowling more than 60-70 overs. But our team, if you see, so because of injuries, so we had people rotating, which is a strategy which generally Australia and England follow,
Follow,
rotation of
yeah.
bowlers. But surprisingly, this series they didn't follow it.
Maybe, I mean, I don't think there was any, what do you say, essence for them to change it because they lost the test matches on the fifth day. Till 4 days, it was like balanced. Everything was there in their control. I mean, I would say that Sydney was also there, was there in their control. I mean, you have what
Yes.
400 plus runs to chase on a fifth day wicket. It's not really easy, and you know that Jadeja was injured, and
Mm-hmm.
Vihari got tore his hamstring on the ground, and
Hamstring.
Ashwin was also not 50% fit, and I don't think.
Yeah.
Uh, I, I think they just failed to execute. I mean, like Ashwin was saying in one of his videos, actually. So he said
Mm-hmm.
that they were more focused to bounce him out. They were trying the short ball,
Yes.
trying the bouncers instead of trying to bowl full, make the ball swing, get him on the edge. Maybe they just missed a trick there, I guess.
Yeah. So probably if you look at that ultra map which they show, so number of balls hitting the wickets were quite low.
Hmm.
Number of balls which were hitting the bodies were too high
Too high.
in the Sydney Test, especially. I mean, they had it. Probably I don't know what's the line of thought which they had, hitting out the batsman or whatever it might be, but they missed the basic trick of hitting the stumps.
Yeah.
These people are not as well established as Virat Kohli or Ajinkya Rahane, so they should have easily given up at some point of time if they would have stick to their plans and strategies. And one more surprising thing was they rate Ashes more highly than India-Australia series, probably till before this series at least. And in 2019 Ashes, they had the strategy of rotating bowlers. They had Pattinson coming in, replacing Stark for some time. But this series was quite odd when it comes to captaincy of Tim Payne as well as strategy making of Justin Langer and team. So I feel they too had their part of injuries, but still, at least with the bowling attack, they had a consistent bowling attack, and I feel
Mhm.
they've missed out a trick on it. And one more point is not utilizing Cameron Green.
Yeah.
This guy bowls 139, 140 kmph, and this guy was underutilized on the fifth days of both the tests. He hardly bowled 10 overs, 10 to he didn't even bowl 10 overs if I'm not wrong. And these bowlers were bowling 20, 25 overs, and I see Stark bowling wayward deliveries on day 5, which were not even required.
Yeah, I mean that's hard actually. You can say that, and when you talk about the new rivalry between India and Australia, I just felt that I think this is a new beginning. I mean, Australia have been really drubbed there because breaching Gaba is not a mean feat. I mean, no team has defeated them there
Yes.
in 32, 33 years. And we go there with what India C squad, I can say, because there was Natarajan, there was Shardul Thakur, there was Washington Sundar,
Yes.
Natarajan and Sundar making their debuts. And somebody said the Australian combined wicket taking was around 1,000 wickets, and ours was around what 10,
Yes.
13,
12
14.
wickets.
So,
12 or 13.
I mean, I expected Gabba to be drawn. I was not expecting for a
Hmm.
win, seriously, because we had a really inexperienced bowling line. I mean, Natarajan is
Yes.
a fabulous bowler. Sundar is a fabulous bowler, but in terms of limited overs, they are like phenomenal. I didn't really expect them to like raise up to the occasion and run away with the match.
Yeah, that was something which was encouraging for our country as such. But we can't guarantee what if Shami, Ishant were there. Will it be the same situation as the thing? Because I mean, that is something which people can't answer, because the young guns were much more motivated. Probably the management were also motivating them a lot. Probably with the regular team, we might not expect the same results. And another thing is with respect to the wickets which have panned out. So Sydney wicket and Gaba wicket, so they were not as intimidating as it was previously.
Hmm.
There was not, I mean, Sydney day 5 wicket was something like a subcontinent wicket,
Hmm.
to be frank. They were trying to bounce out us, but that was not reaching even head high. I mean, they were getting hit on shoulders and bodies.
Yeah.
So with 140, 145 kmph, with that speed, if they're not able to do it, probably that is something. Even pitches are also getting changed. Probably they are not the same during the early 2000s or early 2010s.
Yeah, I agree. They're not that intimidating actually, because Gaba, I was expecting a lot of bounce, and I
Yes.
think there was some assistance for India in the third innings when there was a crack that was opened up and
Crack,
callers were,
yes.
and that surprisingly disappeared when Australia came out to bowl in the fourth innings. So
I
now, I mean, you cannot take away what the cricket team has, Indian cricket team has put up, and talk about Rishabh Pant. I mean, he's been under fire, right? IPL also,
yes.
he was performing subpar, you can say. He had an horrible 2019 World Cup. IPL was also not good. The limited, nothing was working out to him actually, and he was not picked for the first test as well. Saha was the first
Yes.
keeper option, and suddenly you're bought into a team, and then you perform almost one. I mean, you can say that the Sydney one was also, if he had stayed for maybe a 5 to 10 overs, you never know what might be the result had been there.
Yes, you never know.
And
Yeah.
Gaba was phenomenal.
Personally, I'm not a big fan of Rishabh Pant. With the way he bats, I feel he needs to get much more mature enough. But probably these tests changed a bit of opinion from my end. Yeah, I've changed my opinion at least for test matches. I feel he's a better test player now when compared to a T20 player, because T20 he goes for more and more shots and he throws his wicket away. Probably in test he has much more time. He has the ability to hit the ball. So I see a middle order Sehwag in him, where he plays test much more better compared to a T20 match, to be frank,
You know,
because there is no pressure. He can hit his ball.
so there was the saying in Indian dressing room that Ashwin was saying that they get heart attack when Pant is batting. I mean, both Indian
Yes.
team and the opponent team both get heart attack, and we as audience watching them or fans watching the game also, we do get heart attack. Because I mean, I remember the shot. I think there was 3 runs to win or 4 runs to win at Gaba, and Pant goes for that wild hawk, and I was like, I didn't understand like what was the need to go for that shot at that point of time. But the Harsha Bogle says about Pant's batting that you live by the spot, you die by the spot.
That's my spot.
So you can't. I mean, if he's definitely scoring runs in that manner, then there's no room for complaint. But
Yes.
now this series is done, right? So India Australia
Mhm.
series is done. We won the Border-Gavaskar trophy. We come back. We are at the top of the what do you say,
World
ICCI
Test
World
Championship.
Championship.
Yeah.
And I think a slot in that Lord's match is very much assured. I don't think that is anywhere near going away from us. But
Yes.
now we'll talk a little bit about the next coming series, India versus
Mhm.
England. So England is right now battling in Sri Lanka. I think they are having an upper hand there right now at least.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
what do you make of that squad? There's no Johnny Bairstow, and that's a really big surprise to me.
I mean, they've. I guess that's the only team which follows a rotation policy much more better than any other team across the world. So they've rested Johnny Bairstow for the first two tests, is what they've mentioned. They didn't mention that they have axed him as such. So who knows? He might be back for the last two test matches. And probably if you look at the pitches also, so they need better players of spin. My only concern with an England team is their opening pair, which is completely. I mean, they're pretty new to this international arena, so that is one concern. And one good thing to see is Joe Root, his performance, the way he's batting out. I don't feel any discomfort in his batting. He's not getting tired out. He's battling for long periods, and I'm excited to see three fast bowlers, if at all they play, Anderson, Broad, as well as Joe Archer together. I would be surprised if they play three of them together, but I would be very happy to see that.
There's Ben Stokes also, yeah, on already available
Yeah.
bowling option. I
Yes.
mean, but for me, I thought that Yeah, resting is fine. But I mean, you resting Johnny Bairstow is fine, but maybe they should have had him in the first two test matches, see how he performs. Then maybe they could have rested because you know, I mean, India has bounced back from a defeat, a horrible defeat in a visiting nation. But I don't expect every
Yeah,
team to bounce back after losing out first matches.
got
So
it, got it.
because
Yeah,
I mean, the first leg of any tour is very crucial because that sets up the
Mhm.
tone. I mean,
Yes,
as you say, India and Australia series being an exception because we are allowed to have that exceptions. These are outliers,
yes,
but
yeah,
doesn't mean that every series will fall in that outliers. And I
yes,
think that if England had been, I think they should have had Bairstow because he's a better player of spin. He plays the IPL. He knows the pitches. He knows the
Mhm.
conditions.
Yes, yes.
So he should have been. I felt that he should have been there. And first two matches are Chennai, and
More
England.
crucial.
And England doesn't. And the last two times England has played in Chennai, one was a Sachin Tendulkar masterclass. India chased down
Yeah,
387. Virendra Sehwag and Sachin Tendulkar's masterclass. And the last one was in 2016 where Karun Nair scored 300 runs.
triple century. Yeah,
So they don't have any what do you say fair experience,
yeah.
good
Agreeing
experience
on to your
actually.
point. So they should have had Johnny Bairstow at least for the sake of experience.
Mhm.
Who knows? They should have promoted him top at the top of the order because they have Oli
Definitely.
Pope coming down the order now. They have Oli Pope. They have Ben Stokes. They have enough experience in the middle order. So they should have pushed him to the top of the order and asked him to play freely. That would have
Yeah.
given much more runs. Who knows? Batting first on a Chennai wicket, they need some runs to defend with the kind of firepower India has. They should
Yeah.
have done it, but
Yeah.
as
I
the
mean,
saying goes, it depends.
the thing is like if this plan works out, if resting Johnny Bairstow works out for them, then it's a master stroke. And if it doesn't work out, it's a true blunder that they've made. So we never know
Yeah,
until this series has been done and dusted.
yeah.
So what is your prediction for Indian England Test series?
Uh, okay. I'll go. I ideally want to go with India win, but I want to be it a fiery and a feisty series. I want to go with a 2-2, two each.
Two each.
Yeah.
Okay, so India winning in Chennai, losing in Chennai, and again in India winning in Ahmedabad
Uh,
and losing in Ahmedabad.
so okay, that is something which is very difficult to predict. But yeah, I would like to see results in all the four Test matches instead of being a draw. That too in Indian wickets. I want to see England play better with the kind of squad they have, with the kind of experience in the bowling they have. So I'm a big fan of Anderson, so I want to see him perform at least once more in India before he retires. I feel this would be his last series, probably Broad's last series too in India. So
You
I'd
never
like to
know.
see them perform more here.
Those both are hanging as vampires to England cricket. They never get
Understood, but he's
old.
39 now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
See, for me, the expectations is, I mean, Indian batting is not up to par in Australia. I mean, considering that we are a visiting nation there, but they were
yeah,
one performance was there in every innings, one or two performance you can say. But I would really want to see India scoring big because I don't remember when was the last time India scored that freely in a first innings or whatever things, especially the openers. And I think Rohit Sharma, I think he will definitely keep his spot as an opener now with Rohit and Shubman opening the innings. So I really hope Indian batsmen fire up this time because I think as you said, there is a pretty decent bowling lineup to us. There are enough resources to
yeah.
get this thing. And I think I hate to say, but I hope to expect a clean sweep, a 4-0. But you never know because
Okay.
mind the viewers. I think England is the only test nation that has bet India in India in the last 10 years or 15 years, you can say,
So
to
mind you that they have a chance to beat India now
beat
also.
India. So yeah, and don't underestimate them because
Yeah,
you never know what happens in test cricket.
yeah.
So that's it, guys. That's it from us. We hope that you've enjoyed the video. Please do share and subscribe to Sportzian.